Hello and welcome back. I am so excited about my next guest. She is a creative brand strategist, and she helps people to really anchor in to their unique magic so that they can no longer be the best kept secret and get more visibility, get out into the world. She has been on ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS. She's been in the Oprah magazine, and she's right here. Please welcome to the show, Ruth Klein.
How are you?
Excellent. To see you. Yes. So you are a busy little bee.
I am.
Maybe not even such a little bee, actually. quite a big busy bee, because I could go on and really spend half the interview time just talking about all of the amazing things you've done on the planet so far, and we're seeing a good bunch of them right in front of us. So you kind of have a lot of hats on and a lot of hands and a lot of pots. Tell us about some of the ones that really are the juiciest for you.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah. It's interesting what someone can do.
Yes.
When they're really connected to a purpose much greater than them.
Yes.
And so when I was able to tap into that, I was so productive. And what happened, some of the pieces I love best is taking entrepreneurs
Yes.
and helping them stop being the best kept secret.
Right? I think there are a lot of best kept secrets out there.
There are a lot of best kept secrets, yes, and particularly women.
Yes.
We have a tendency to hold back our voices for a number of reasons, And what happens is that we don't get the opportunity to tell the world, to share with the world who we are, and more importantly, by getting out there and being able to have a voice and be connected with who you are and be able to share that, then the people that can benefit from the gifts that you have can see you.
So I love what you're saying, especially around being who you are, right? And so tell us a little bit about who is Ruth Klein, because again, you have so many wonderful gifts and talents that you share. But who is Ruth Klein? Tell us a little bit about your background and how you've come to all of the work that you've done.
Love that. I'm not defined by anything, but what I am, it's interesting, on the plane coming here.
Yes.
Someone was asking me about the books and all of that. I said, I'm not defined by that. And he said, what are you defined by? Which I thought was a great question.
Right, not what you're not defined by, but what are you defined by?
And I said, I'm defined by my heart. And I think we all are when we allow it to open up and to expand and then put the voice attached to that heart.
Yes.
And so it's really a matter of becoming the expert that we are. We all are experts. We have an expertise in everything.
Yes.
And the gentleman I was sitting next to, he wants to write a book on procrastination.
I love that one.
Isn't that, it's a great topic.
It's a great topic.
And it's his experience. He's the expert.
Yeah.
And so you don't need a degree.
Right.
You don't need a certificate. You just need to know what your talents are, your skills, your successes, your failures. And of course we know that failures don't exist. It's just feedback.
Right, just lessons learned.
It's just lessons learned, which are so wonderful. Because when we go to the movies, we love the inspirational stories.
Yes.
We love the inspirational stories.
Yes.
And so there is no failure, really.
Right.
And so it's about being able to present yourself as who you are. And what I do is I love to help entrepreneurs and people, for that matter, just doesn't have to be in the business world, uncover, help them uncover their talents and their skills and their gifts and their brilliance, their absolute brilliance, because we all have that brilliance. And that brilliance is attached to what I call our soul print. It's our soul print, which is interpreted as a brand print. And so even if you have twins, they're different fingerprints.
Yes.
Still
yes.
unique. So
Right.
what is the uniqueness? And that's the goal.
nice.
That's the
Yeah, that's the nugget.
that's the nugget that I
Yeah.
love,
Yeah.
is to help people find their soul print and attach that to a message,
Okay.
which helps them uncover their voice, gives them permission,
Yes.
gives them permission to be who they are, and the safety to share who they are.
Yes.
Because along the way, somewhere along the way, we have learned through misinterpretation,
Right.
through different kinds of misidentification, and usually that has happened at a very young age.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you think about it, when you talk to a 10-year-old or a 5-year-old, we made a lot of those decisions when we were 5 years old.
Absolutely.
When
and
we
they've
were
been
3
sticking
years
with
old,
us.
and they've stayed with
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
And they've stayed with us. So I am blessed to be able to be in the field that I am, because I feel I am so on purpose with what I do, that I'm able to help people get the permission, give themselves permission,
Yes.
and help them go down there and just kind of identify what some of those old misidentifications are, some of those old patterns, and go, bye-bye.
Bye.
You know,
we don't need you anymore.
we don't need you anymore.
Right.
And not that they were bad.
Right. They served us for a time.
That's absolutely right. They
Yeah.
served a purpose, and they no longer
Right.
serve us.
Right.
They no longer serve us.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, they served us at 5.
they served us
But
at
not
5.
At 25,
they helped
not at
keep us
35.
safe. They helped
Right.
whatever that was.
Right.
And many times we don't have the opportunity or even think about
True.
going back. And so that, I have found, hinders a person in being able to really put that soul print
Yeah.
there, that brand print, that personal brand,
Yeah.
the business brand. It's all of that.
I love that. I love soul print.
Yeah.
There's just something really that rings beautifully with that, because our souls are unique, and
yeah.
as we understand, right, our fingerprints are unique, so we really get to connect.
Absolutely.
And bring that
When,
through.
when you think of authors, of the same, of time management,
Right.
everyone has a different voice,
Absolutely. A different approach.
a different approach from where they're coming from.
Yes.
And so you can, and same thing with realtors, same thing with
Yes.
insurance, same thing with lawyers,
Lawyers,
doctors,
yes.
on and on and on. And even
Right.
within the specialty areas,
Yes.
what's the uniqueness? What's the
Absolutely.
soul print? And it's being able to identify it, number one,
Right.
being safe,
Yes.
okay with what comes up, and then being able to share that in messaging
In a powerful way.
in a very powerful way, and in a way that is encompassing, in a way that's expansive for
That's big.
everyone.
Yes.
For everyone.
Yes.
And so one of my newest projects
Yes.
is the Universal Mom.
Ooh, what is that? That sounds juicy.
It's I've been involved with a nonprofit for self-esteem counsel, where we go into the schools and we work with sophomore girls to help them identify their voice and who they are. And the Universal Mom takes that and really puts it to another dimension. And it's not just with girls, it's with children and teens. This was a divinely gifted download, by the way.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Yes.
And when it came, I basically kept writing for 12, 15 pages. And the entire business model came down just completely.
Love
Completely. And I knew I was supposed to be working more with children.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
We're all children.
Right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. My inner child wants to go to Disneyland.
Right? Wants to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go swing.
And so it's helping children and teens uncover. Same thing that I do with adults.
Right.
Their gifts, their talents,
Yes.
and their voice
Voice.
through the art of writing.
Beautiful. Really, really beautiful. We're going to find out more about how you have done exactly that through all of your amazing writings, all of the wonderful writings that you have here when we come back. So please come back and join us for This episode was sponsored by Soul Purpose Branding. Put
your soul into your brand. Get your business on purpose. With Sabine Messner, the wizard of soul purpose branding. soulpurposebranding.com.
And we are back with Ruth Klein, who is sharing with us her work with a program called Universal Moms. Universal Mom, yeah, where she works with sophomore girls, teenagers, right, on the precipice, and really helps them to find their voice and bring it out through writing. So at the end of, how long is that program and what happens towards the end of it?
Well, you know, with the sophomore girls, we do that with the Self-Esteem Council. The Universal Mom has 3 different age groups.
Oh.
And this was all a download, 8
Right.
to 11, 12 to 14, and 15 to 19.
Beautiful. Oh, that actually makes sense.
Because I couldn't have come up with that myself. and it's basically helping the children and teens write, get their ideas,
Yes.
kind of learn about who they are with certain prompts.
Yes.
And then at the end of the 8-week program, 16 hours, 2 hours every week
Wow.
for 8 weeks,
Nice.
then we'll publish their writing.
So they get
So
to
they'll have their own little book.
Oh, how precious, how powerful that is. I mean, to be that young, to already have created a book. I mean, there are many adults who haven't created their books, right? And so how wonderful it would, you know, to already at that age to get a hold of those girls, and oh my gosh, how empowering that must be.
It's going to be wonderful.
So excited for you. So we'll definitely, and you said something in there about a self-esteem council, did I hear?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That is 20 years old now, and that's where we go into the high schools and work with sophomore girls.
Okay.
And it's amazing. We're with these girls less than 10 hours in 5 months. And many of them are going to college when college wasn't on their radar screen.
I love that.
Many of them have much better relationship with their mom.
Yes.
Their school, basically their grades are much better. And they're showing up and asking questions in class.
Nice.
It's amazing. And the Universal Mom will take this even further.
Yes.
And can you imagine, instead of 10 hours, we'll be with these children and teens for 16 hours.
Nice.
And it's all under, I believe the reason for the success,
Yes.
number one, is our incredible mentors, our loving mentors. And it's all under positive, loving, unconditionally listening
Yes.
to the girls.
Yes.
It's amazing what will happen when a child is seen,
Yes.
when a child is heard,
Yes.
when a child is acknowledged.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It unleashes.
It unleashes. And it's also for the child within the adult.
To help them through that process, whereas maybe they didn't have that when they were younger.
That's right. And to be able to see them, to be able to hear them. And one of the best ways to do that is to write a book.
I love it. We keep leading right back to that road. So I see you are one who walks your talk, right? So tell us about some of these jewels that you have written.
You know, the first book I ever wrote
Yes.
was called Where Did the Time Go? And I remember the first book, thank goodness my agent didn't tell me, I had 28 rejections, and she only told me about 11. Thank goodness, thank goodness.
Only 11,
Only
not the
11. But time management, productivity is huge in my world.
Okay.
It's huge in my world. And I came up with this quote, ideas are only as good as their implementation. And so we can have
That's the truth.
so much information,
Yes.
so much knowledge
Yep.
kept inside,
Yep.
and unless we implement them, it's as though, in my opinion, we don't have it. And so when I work with my clients, just get going.
Yeah,
Just get
just start.
started. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
It doesn't, just do it.
Yep.
And we learn along the way.
Yes.
We learn along the way.
Yes, you absolutely do. I love it because I do the same thing, you know, with my clients around songwriting.
Yeah.
You know, people have this, oh, I can't write a song.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's this big thing. And, you know, I felt that way too for many, many years. But sometimes there's this great little technique. It's just you jump in and do it and boom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it seems like writing a book is huge.
It does.
It seems
like this formidable mountain, right?
It really does. And
And?
if productivity is one of the motivators at building a system, And it's really dividing it into what I call the anatomy of the book, in my world, the book proposal.
Okay.
So whether you go for an agent
Yes.
or whether you self-publish, you still want to have the anatomy of a book proposal because it organizes your book.
yes.
It helps you find out really the essence of what you want to say at the end of the day. At the end of the day,
Right.
what do you want your readers to know?
Right. What do you want them to walk
what do you
away with?
really want them to know and
Yeah.
walk away with? If you only could share 3 things with them, what would they be?
Nice.
And that helps guide you and
Yes.
lead you into your book proposal.
Beautiful. That again, and there was a guest who talked about beginning with the end in mind, and that's
Yes.
very similar, right? But
Yeah.
that even makes it more specific, where you have your 3 kind of key pieces.
Yes.
And I'm also hearing just this great little correlation between, this one, this uncovering. That's kind of a common theme, right? Uncovering, and through the written word, which is
It's through the and you as you're speaking, Orgena, uncovering the cover of a book, the brilliance
Yes.
between a book. And I'm working with a client right now, and she has there's so many clients. They all have something huge to share,
yes,
and people don't even know the gift yet
Right.
that's coming.
right,
And and that brings the visibility piece, is becoming what I call the expert celebrity
Ah, okay.
brand positioning, which only means how do you position, whether it's a book or how do you position what you do,
Right.
so that you become visible,
Yes.
so the people that you can serve see you. So
Yes.
it's not about chasing people for
Right.
business. It's not any of that old stuff.
yeah. Very much an old model.
Oh,
I
it's
think.
an old model,
And
and
it's yucky. It feels
it's
awful.
yucky. It
Yeah.
never worked for me. It was just
Right, yeah.
And here I am. And when you have who you are
Yes.
very clear, then people who are attracted or can see that soul brand,
Yes.
that inner peace.
Yes.
I want to work with you.
Yeah.
I want to work with you.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I most recently I read a quote by Mark Twain. And it says, I'm going to butcher it, but it basically says, there are 2 days, the most important 2 days in your life. First one's when you're born, and the second one is when you figure out what you're going to do.
Ooh, that's juicy. That's
Yeah.
delicious. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
And so how can people, again, you talked about celebrity, and I know for a lot of people that's a scary word, or that could be a really juicy, exciting word. And so how do you help people to really step into that piece and their visibility? Because not everybody's always ready for that, right?
It's interesting. The word celebrity frightens some people.
Yes.
Because when we think of celebrity, we think of entertainment.
Right.
And all of that.
Right.
If it's an uncomfortable word, then replace celebrity with visibility. The idea is when you have a message, and we
Yes.
all have a message,
Yes.
and when you're visible with your expertise,
Yes.
and you know your brand, then you can position it. And it's interesting because in Forbes just this month, there's Toby Keith on the cover,
Oh.
and it says Celebrity 100. And so I thought, let's read this on the plane. And then I thought, what immediately I thought of was, what are the similarities between an entertainment celebrity
Yep.
and an expert celebrity?
Yep.
And there are a lot of similarities. However, there's one major difference in the expert celebrity.
What's
And that is the expert celebrity is a thought leader in their industry. And we can still use that platform.
Yes.
And that's what I do,
Yes.
is help people build that platform, because there are 2 sides of a platform.
Yes.
One is the expertise, and the other one is who's going to read the book.
Right, the receiver.
Yeah.
And actually, it's interesting to hear you say that difference, because, you said Toby Keith to me, and I instantly thought, this person has a very clear brand. And he is a thought leader for his tribe, for his group of people. He exemplifies exactly how they think, believe, act, live their lives, and that's why they connect to him. So it really is very, very
it's very
similar.
and he's in entertainment.
Yes, and they're in
And
expert. It's but the commonality is absolutely there. That's beautiful.
And with that,
Yeah.
with that expert celebrity brand positioning, we have the opportunity and we also have the responsibility
yeah.
to get our message out
Yes.
to the very people that really
Right.
can and will benefit.
Ruth, tell me, why is this important to you? Why is it so important to you to help people to be seen and heard?
Because I was the best kept secret.
Mm.
And growing up, I realized that I had subdued my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And only relatively recently realized how subdued it was.
Mm. To what degree?
To what degree. And how something shows up in one part of my life
Yes.
is going to show up in other parts of my life. And it has its threads.
Yes.
And it showed up in different places. And I couldn't really pinpoint what it was, but it was my voice.
Yes.
To the point where someone suggested that I take singing lessons. And I thought, singing lessons? I dance. Am I supposed to sing too? And it really, yes. And the interesting thing is, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism.
And that's all right there.
It's all in the voice.
That's amazing.
All in the voice.
That's phenomenal. Wow.
And
so
so-
did you?
I did take the singing lessons.
Good.
And who would have known I have a voice?
Look at that.
To the point where, here's a stretch, I play piano,
Yeah.
but I want to learn keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And the stretch is when I give a speech
Yes.
to sing a song
Uh-huh.
that I have written, because I write poetry, but I don't know how to put the music to it, so I'll get you to do that.
Yes.
And
Love to help.
basically do the keyboard chords
And play and sing.
and play and sing the
Absolutely.
song, and
Sing your
that
song.
and sing the song.
Yeah, sing your
Yeah,
song.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the key. It
And
really
the
is key.
connection.
Yes.
And the connection. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's so exciting. That's so beautiful. And again, kind of bring that that key word home is you've uncovered your voice and you're
Yeah.
uncovering yours. And that, therein lies the core of how you're helping others to uncover theirs.
Right. It's
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us
It's been
today.
a pleasure.
How can, folks connect with you to be more visible, to get, again, that soul print out for them?
There are two ways.
Mm-hmm.
They can go to www.ruthklein.com, and Klein is the German spelling, Klein, or expertcelebrity.com.
Nice. Beautiful. And how would you like to leave us today? What thoughts, what message, what core piece would you like us to take away from you today?
I think if I wanted to say one thing is that no matter what experiences you've had, no matter where you are in your life, it's absolutely perfect. Absolutely, positively perfect. And when we can really see it as perfection, it takes the guilt, it takes the frustration, it takes the dissing of ourselves, calms us down, allows us to reconnect
Yes.
with who we really are,
Yes.
and then take action.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Orgena.
Absolutely. And we will be right back.